YouTube fam, TGIF, happy Friday. I'm out and about today. It's an off day, so dress down a little bit. Let's talk about how to make sure you're going to get maximum funding before you ever actually go for funding. What you need to do, how you can go about mapping out the bank that you want to work with, and how to go about building that relationship. This is key because this is what is going to allow you to get the maximum funding. A lot of us don't realize the importance of building a relationship with a bank, especially now. People are looking for quick money, they're looking for a quick hit, fast money. And I get it, we all need some money ASAP. But to maximize the amount of money you're going to get, it comes from the long-term game. And not even that long. We're talking about a couple of months. All right. You can actually max out, hit the peak, right, of what you're actually looking for from a bank within 3 to 6 months. It really can only take 90 days of establishing that relationship. So let's start at the top. Let's start at the top. When you're going for any particular bank, and side note, the reason I don't talk about any one bank in particular is because now a lot of these banks are constantly switching up their processes, and they're adding and taking away products all the time. So one thing I would recommend for everyone to do is, if you're interested in building a relationship with a bank, sign up for their newsletter. Banks will send out correspondence, newsletters updating you about what they're doing in the community, what they're doing for small businesses, and any new opportunities that they're creating. This would include the adding and taking away of products. So, for instance, during like the pandemic, Wells Fargo took away their personal line of credit. Then they also took away their business credit cards. But because of them taking away their business credit card, they started pushing out the business line of credit. The business line of credit at that time went up to 50,000. Recently, Wells Fargo has actually released a new business credit card called their Visa Signature Business Credit Card, right? It's a brand new credit card product that just launched. However, I've been hearing about this business credit card since last November. It's just hitting the market today. You can tap in with these banks, get on their mailing list, and get these type of product updates solely because you subscribe to their newsletter. So I'm going to give y'all that gem, right? This is how you're able to get this information yourself if you're interested. If not, then of course I always keep up to date, and I have this information for any of my clients that I work with. The other thing is that, along with signing up for their newsletters, take a tour of their websites. When a bank, and here's another cheat code for you, right? And shout out to everybody that's watching, listening, tapping in. Drop a comment, let me know where you're tapping in from. Definitely like, subscribe, share this out to anyone else who's interested in getting funding, but they want to know how to go about it. They're confused, they're not sure. They did a couple of app sprees, but maybe they got denied. Here we're going to talk about how you can pre-plan and put yourself in position so that you can get the funding that you want from any bank. So the first thing you want to do before you just go for a particular application spree, visit the bank's websites. You can literally go on Google, type bank near me, or you can type credit union near me. And they're just gonna pop up, right? We know Google's gonna pop up. Go to their website. The first thing that you see on their website, on the homepage, is the thing that bank is pushing the most at that moment. This is important to know because, like any other business, their website updates all the time. There are several banks right now where they're pushing their CDs, their certificate of deposits, and their savings accounts. Like I was on Fulton Bank personal banking website. They're pushing their CDs right now. The banks want people to do more deposits because when you put in more deposits, they're going to be able to lend out more money. That's the whole business of a bank. Get in deposits, use those deposits to lend out more money. So a lot of banks are pushing their CDs. Also, CDs have a relatively high interest rate right now, anywhere from 4 to 6% on a CD. So if you have some money that you want to save and you don't mind it being locked up for a little bit, look into a CD. Also, flips another thing to that. When you deposit into some of these CDs, banks will allow you to do a secured loan. This is great on the business side. When you have a business savings account or business CD, banks offer a secured loan by using the CD as collateral. So this is great because not only can you deposit money, let's say into Fulton Bank, into their business CD, is going to earn, let's say 4% annually. You can then borrow against that money. So it can sit there, gain that interest. You can borrow against it. What's good, my guy? You can borrow against it and then use that as collateral so that you can get a loan. My guy KP, we're gonna get these business owners right. You're gonna set them up with the automations and systems. I'm gonna get them together with the money. And if they can't afford to pay you, I'm gonna get them funded so they don't have no reason not to work with you, right? So we're gonna put that together. Um, so that's one thing. Another thing you could do, check out the homepage. Whatever you see on the homepage of that bank, that's what they're pushing for. Once you get through the homepage, go to the business side. It'll actually go through all the different lending products that they offer. Once you see the lending products that you like one of my guys, he loves credit cards. That's his thing, business credit cards. So he'll go to the website, scope out the business credit cards, and once he figure out which ones he want, he locked in, he goes for it. What you want to do is look for the programs that fit your particular needs. If you're an ecom, business credit cards, zero interest funding is what you want to look at. That's going to be your thing right there. If you're more of a brick and mortar, or if you have employees, business lines of credit is what we're going to be looking at for you. Is quick access to cash, and it's a revolving line of credit. And typically a business line of credit interest rate is going to be lower than a credit cards, right? That assuming that you got a credit card that doesn't have 0% interest. Okay. Loans are great for if you're someone and you have a very equipment heavy business, trucking, right? You have a restaurant, you're in manufacturing. All of these type of companies require a lot of upfront liquid capital that I know how to liquidate credit cards and things like that so you can quickly turn it into cash. But sometimes you just need to be able to get that building, get that real estate, get that equipment right then and there as soon as possible. Also, there are credit cards are great for if you want to pay for things on a subscription, right? Technology is great for this. Technology, computers, software. If you have to buy SaaS for your particular industry, right? Point of sale software. All of that is perfect for a credit card because it's going to be a monthly subscription. You're able to put it on a credit card. You'll earn cash back from those monthly subscriptions, and it helps alleviate and free up some of your cash flow, right? So go through, look at what they have. A lot of these banks will give you their interest rates for their products. It'll give you the qualifications for the product right there on their website. With credit cards, it'll tell you how much cash back you have. Typically, when you're thinking about where you are on a spectrum, if you're looking at a credit card that doesn't have any rewards, those are typically the easy barrier to entry, right? So, if your credit isn't exactly it, you'll probably want to reach out for that no rewards credit card. If your personal credit is on the higher side, then we're going to definitely max out and go for those 3%, 4%, 5% cashback credit cards. Fulton Bank actually has a pretty decent, actually, it's a dope credit card that earns 3% cash back on a lot of different common categories, right? I'm looking into Fulton Bank right now. Once you figure out which ones you like, call them. If there are any questions that they didn't already answer on the website, take call them. I was actually doing some research for banks in Missouri, and I reached out to a bank, and they actually said that the information on the website was no longer accurate. So it's another reason why we want to call them, because some banks, especially the really small ones, the regional ones, they don't have the staff and the capacity to keep up with updating their website. So that bank no longer does business lending, but they forwarded me to another bank that did. Right. So I was actually able to hop on the phone with their business banker and get more information about their line of credit so that I can help one of my clients that's out in Missouri right now. So super, you can do that. Call them. Next thing you want to do after you call, you get all the information, set up an appointment with the business banker. This is where the real relationship starts. Once you once you're there, you're going to ask them any of the follow-up questions, right, that you may have. What are the highest limits that you all give? Can I reallocate my credit limits between credit cards? Can I get multiple products? Meaning, can I get more than one credit card? Can I get a credit card and a business line of credit? Can I get a business line of credit and a loan? Can I get an auto loan? Can I get an auto loan and a corporate real estate loan? Can I mix and match these products? Right? What's the ease of use of these products, right? What are some of your closing costs if we're looking at loans or lines of credit? What fees do you have? The great thing, another reason my guy loves credit cards, because they don't have any fees. You apply, you use it, that's it. Loans, business lines of credit, some of them have upfront fees, documentation fees. They may have closing fees. Some of them have prepayment penalties. You want to ask about these type of fees so you know whether or not this is going to be a good look for you, right? Chase has a lot of fees, so I don't really try to use like a business line of credit or loan from Chase because they require a lot of docs. Typically, they do have a new no doc program that they launched that everyone's been talking about, but they also have fees too. So you want to go through, ask them about their prepayment penalties, ask them about their documentation fee. Does their business line of credit have an annual fee? And then you want to, I would say, survey about 3 to 5 banks and then compare them to each other. Which ones have the better credit cards? Which ones have the better business line of credit? Which one has the better loan terms? Right? And once you figure that out, you can start building that relationship with that bank. That includes setting up deposits, right? You want to start showing deposits with that bank for at least 90 days, right? Once you have those 90 days done, that's when you want to go for the maximum amount of lending. The maximum. It could be a $30,000 credit card, right? Could be a $50,000 line of credit like PNC. They'll go up to a $50,000 line of credit. Could be something like M&T Bank. They have a $25,000 business line of credit. Maybe you're going to max out on a credit card like the Navy Federal flagship card that goes all the way up to $80,000 on the personal side, right? On the business side with Navy, they'll lend up to 120,000 in unsecured revolving lines of credit. You want to go through and do this research so you know exactly what you're trying to get from that bank. Once you have what you want from that bank, you'll continue that relationship, right? Because you can always go back for more. You can always go back for more just in case there's a new product that came out, just in case they got new terms, or you can renegotiate the terms of the current products that you have, right? Uh, Speaking of that, with credit cards, if you currently have a high interest rate, you see that your score is going up or your personal score is improving, always call your credit card and see if they can give you lower interest rates. Always do that, right? So going through these steps is how you can put yourself in position to make sure you're getting the maximum from a particular bank. Yes, it takes some footwork. Yes, it takes a little bit of time. Now, if you're somebody that's super busy, you're already building a business. You're already managing employees. You're making deliveries. You're fulfilling, right? You don't have time to do all of this research. You don't have time to build relationships. You don't have time to figure out what bank is best for what you do. That's when you partner with somebody or get with someone like myself who does that. I have the time to research for you. I have the time to act as that liaison and build out a customized funding strategy for you. Just the other day, one of my clients said that they need $94,000 so that they can buy out a tenant because they're looking for real estate. They need 50 to 60,000 for that. They also are looking for another 20,000 so that they can purchase this franchise. Now, the great thing about working with someone who specializes in this, I'm going to ask more questions because on the internet, I can just give you a bank. I can say, oh, go to Chase to da 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 da. Oh, PNC has this or that. But what if you burn Chase? What if you burn Chase? What if you don't have a good relationship with PNC? Maybe there's no PNC in your area. Maybe you're really surrounded by smaller banks and credit unions, and you need somebody to go actually reach out to these institutions, research them for you, and figure out which ones are best for you. That's where working with a financial liaison is going to come into play. That is exactly what I help business owners with, because business owners need consistent, constant access to capital. We already know 80% of businesses go out of business simply because they don't have access to capital. I meet so many business owners who are in the mud, in the thick of it, and have no idea how to properly apply for a loan. They don't know where to go to get an MCA. They don't know how to finance their equipment. They don't even know what documents they need to qualify for an SBA loan. They're guessing. You don't need to guess. You don't need to guess. Work with somebody that actually knows the process and has the ability to sit down with the bankers, sit down with the lenders, and already has that relationship formed so that you don't have to go through the guesswork with it. It's vital. It's super important. If you're not sure where to start your journey, maybe you thought about getting some help, but you're still scared, in the description of this video and every other video I have, we have links to your credit report so you can check your credit report. We have links to 3 different ebooks. So if you wanted to build your credit yourself, if you wanted to build out your business credit yourself, if you wanted to set up your own funding sequence and you wanted to know what credit card pulls from what credit union, what credit card pulled from what credit reporting agency. I have an ebook that actually lists over 50 different credit cards and not bank, 50 different credit cards and which credit reporting agency that credit card pulls from. That way you don't have to guess. If you have a stronger Equifax and you're like, okay, I got a strong Equifax, that means I can go to Key Bank. That means I can go to Citizens. That means I can go to DCU because these banks pull Equifax, right? Or maybe you have TransUnion. So like, okay, I can go to PenFed. I can go to NASA. These banks pull TransUnion. If Experian, same thing, right? Oh, another one with TransUnion is Elon Financial. Elon Financial underwrites over 150 banks and credit unions across the country. So, any credit union that's underwritten by Elon, when you go for their credit card, that's going to be a TransUnion hard pull, right? So, you want to be able to do that or work with someone that can guide you through that process with and without good credit. I have access to lenders who do business lending that's not based on your credit, your personal credit report. They may pull it, but they're going to be looking at the strength of your business, revenue-based financing. Your favorite payment processor offers revenue-based financing. Did you know that? If you didn't, we need to have a conversation. Set up a consultation with me so we could talk about what funding opportunities are available for you. It's not solely based on just having a 700 credit score. A 700, 720 is great, but we understand that in the thick of business, shit happens. You're not always in position to have perfect credit, and you shouldn't be held back because of that, right? You should be able to continue to grow, continue to leverage, even while restoring your personal credit. Don't get me wrong, personal credit is super important. You will absolutely need it throughout this journey. But we also know that personal credit can take a hit as you're figuring out business, especially if you haven't already grasped your cash flow and you need some additional help, right? You can always click, I have in the description a link to a consultation. You can book the consultation. We can go through your personal credit. We can go through your current business needs and see what type of funding would fit you and your current situation. Right. This was a real quick video, y'all. I'm going to be tapping back in a little later. In the meantime, in between time, remember to like, comment, leave a comment. Also, check all the links in the description. If any of those are going to be helpful for you, absolutely take the time to execute on that. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Take action today. I'll see you guys later. Have a great weekend. Peace.